when Ian took my hornpipe, Michael Gray, and the tune was written to be played just like that, okay? So out come the Strathclyde police, having taken my tune and strangled the guts out of it. You know, it's just like preposterous. It's preposterous. And frankly, some of those things that I was listening to, I mean, that's such a bogey.
No, we're not, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Classic, yeah, but it's only when it's appropriate. You hear tunes, evergreen tunes, classic tunes like Lock Cascade, Mrs. McPherson of Inverness, they can make the journey from cut and dot into rhythmic mode. If you hear Blair Douglas playing Mrs. McPherson, it can make the journey.
Or my personal piping hero, Ian Morrison, playing John Morrison of Ashentusk. Now, you can't argue with me that that was one of the most amazing players ever.
Yeah, I always thought Ian was the most musical solo player I've ever heard.
Yes.
But I have to say it's a question of tempo. If you're playing even rounded stuff, you really have to crank it up. And too many of the bands play it evenly, play it too slowly. If you're going to play, you need to be up there.
Oh yes.
You need to be up there. But if you're going to put the tempo back, it's got to be. Or you're. It's hopeless, you know.
So you see, there's nothing wrong with playing in an even or straight fashion. You just have to select the material correctly and play it correctly.
I played the right tune.
But there's the offbeats that people miss in these tunes as well, and they're just straight through. It's absolutely straight through.
Well, I mean, there's no disagreement. In fact, Robert had a comment in a P&D interview recently about how this has become an epidemic, particularly in grade 1, with this god-awful driving mixolydian in B flat. It's an exchange between E and low A and low G and D, and it's not a musical thing at all. So there's a move away from that.
I think that's because that's been influenced by drum scores. I think the biggest influence in modern hornpipes is the drum scores over the last 10 years. They're influencing the composers.
But they're not even hornpipes. How can you call them hornpipes? They're called hornpipes. They're nothing. They're just. I don't know what they are. You know.
Well, you see when you're sitting there or standing there and the band starts up, it is a wee bit tedious when you get this flurry of notes coming at you and not a hell of a lot of music, and everybody's busy. Everybody's busy, and there's not a lot of music coming from it. And it is when you get it time after time. You know, it's nice if somebody comes out and makes a musical statement with an opening tune. I'll pay Robert a wee compliment. I judged, he came to Ireland, basically, the championship at Ireland, and the only tune I could remember for the bands had finished was the first 50. Somebody played that at the start, and I thought, oh Christ, there's a melodic line here. I just fell flat on my back. It didn't have much to say.
One of the comments I made at the Birmingham Championship was there was a band disqualified for playing the wrong reel. Was it if that had been a medley competition? Nobody knew what they were playing. No, because there's so many tunes now.
I saw them, the ink's still wet.
You go on Saturday and go and make a note of the tunes that stick in your mind at the end of the day. And this brings me to my next point involving the judges here. The judges have a duty, and as far as I'm concerned, if a selection that a band plays is without melodic merit, then that band, irrespective of how well they play, have to be marked down as far as I'm concerned.
How do you reconcile that with what I understand
to
be the direction that the adjudicators are given by the RSPCA, which is that you are to ignore content?
That is just an absolute nonsense.
It's
a nonsense, a patent nonsense, utter rubbish in a musical competition. It must come into it. If it doesn't catch the ear, if it doesn't, you know, what's the point of being? If it's a collection of notes It must affect the overall music.
I think when
None of
you,
us disagree, why is it not changed?
But that's a very good point, that, the RSPBA could define a lot of things. The adjudicators often get, criticised for not doing things, but the adjudicators are working within a very defined framework that the RSPBA sets down. And a good example of that was, in recent years when the whole, base section thing developed. Everybody was saying, adjudicators are taking different approaches to that, but there's nothing laid down, in the RSPBA rules that affect adjudicators that really tell you what you should be doing with base sections. In fact, tenor drums are not actually mentioned in the RSPBA rules as far as the composition of a big band's concerned. They refer to pipers or bass drum and side drummers, but no tenor drummers. So I think there is a need for more broad
The
parameters.
judges not just take it off their own back and say, I don't like that tune, I don't fancy it.
I think certain ones do, yes, others don't.
some do, some don't.
I think you do without realising it. I mean, if the music, if there's no melodic hook in there, you need some kind of, any good tune, if you analyse it, there's a melodic hook that occurs throughout the tune, and that's what seduces the ear. The melodic hook, it's not the tone of the
I'll go back in things. I don't like the idea that we're playing bands who will be competing, discussing bands who are competing on Saturday. I think that's wrong. But I'll go back a few years.
I'm back judging for medley tonight.
I mean, what turns me on in a medley is where you get a group of tunes which start melodically and strong rhythmically and flow through the whole medley as if all the tunes had been written together, as if it was one piece of music. And I remember in the space of half an hour here, two fantastic medleys, way back 1998. This man's band playing Walking the Plank, the first tune of the medley. Tremendous drive and flow all the way through, start to finish. I thought it was superb. And the same year, just half an hour after that, I think Victoria Police came on and they had a very strong medley also. And that kind of thought, my God, how strong is this? The melodic lines coming through.
Well,
And I think that's what it's all about. And good pipe majors, like we've got here, make a rod for their own back, because when you produce that, it becomes the expected level.
You see, Joe, sorry to interrupt you, Joe, but the point is this: I think it's getting out of hand, because I heard on the internet a medley by Toronto Police Band, and I urge you, if you're there on Saturday, if they're going to play it, I don't know if they will, go and have a listen to it, because I thought that was, the end of life as we know it, as far as pipe band music goes, or as far as pipe music goes. I don't know if any of you have heard it on the internet. But go out of your way to try and take this in. Now, it can be justified in writing and all the rest of it, but honest to goodness, it does nothing for me. And I've been in this game a long time, and so has everybody here. If it does anything for you, well, that's fine, but I must be missing something, because honest to goodness, I thought it was absolute hellish. And it doesn't tick any of the boxes in technique, melody, I don't know. But I pity we don't have it here to let you hear it.
I think in any art form, whether it's a visual art, music, painting or whatever, any style that's been developed always goes way over the top and then comes back. Right? And I think we're probably witnessing that at the minute.
Art is a good example.
Art's a good one. You look at the Impressionists or the Pointillists or whatever, you see that they're all very classic art forms when you look back at them, but they went crazy at one point, way over the top, and then came back until they defined. I'm hoping that's what we're going through at the minute anyway.
Has anybody heard it? Has anybody in the audience heard it?
I don't want to get into this, Robert, because I'm not...
Well, that's okay. You don't need to.
But